Hello, Eurovision fans. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, Eurovision Histories, for this, my review of Eurovision in concert, which happened yesterday in Amsterdam. 30 of our class of 2025 performed their songs, some of them for the very first time live. And so there are a lot of things we can talk about, and I'm going to do that, talk about each of the songs. In general, I think the vocals were quite good, like last year a bit, so no big misses when it comes to the vocals. And I also think that some of the outfits were actually better than in the national final performances, surprisingly. So let's get right to it. I'm going to start with Denmark, Sissel and Hallucination. I think the outfit she had on, this is one of the examples, is much better than in the national final. It's much more complimentary. It looks more natural. I think that adds a bit of authenticity to the performance. And I think they should think about changing the outfit to something more like she wore last night. She has amazing vocals, like from beginning to end. She sang this perfectly. She seems like a really sweet person. She's bringing everyone together, it seems like, in this Instagram chat as well. I just feel like, sorry, that she needs a better song. I think with a much better song, she might be a contender for the win because of the great vocals. She lacks a bit of stage presence sometimes, but they can work on that. I hope she returns at some point with a better song. And I'm not quite sure anymore whether this is a non-qualifier as I predicted, because she does sing this really, really well. Then we have Tommy Cash, Espresso Macchiato. He sang this quite well. It's not a very hard song to sing, but he does the switches from the Italian parts, where he kind of changes his voice quite well, and then the other parts of the song as well. I just feel like the performance seemed quite lackluster, like he didn't really want to be there, and the security guy was just standing there. There was no choreography like in the national final. Yeah, lackluster is the word I think of when I think of that performance. I almost lost interest and, yeah, was distracted by other things while watching this. So I'm having more and more of a feeling that we might see a bit of trolling during Eurovision, because it feels so like he doesn't really want to be there in a way. It still is a very catchy song, though. This is the complete opposite. No lacklusterness, is that a word, for this at all. They bring the energy. They have so much fun on that stage, and that is very infectious. I really love watching them perform. I've seen a few interviews. They are really fun as well in the interviews. And just this energy, I think, makes me appreciate the song more as well. It's a bit of a grower. I love the dance that they do. You know, there are lots of comparisons to Jedward, which I don't understand when it comes to the music, but I do understand when it comes to the energy they bring to that stage. The vocals were not great, but they are not that important for a performance like this. The fun and the energy comes across, and that's the most important part. And the off vocals almost add to the fun of this a bit. Then we have Lithuania, Katharsis, and Tavo Akis. I prefer the outfits in the national final for this one, but I think they are just trying out some things. They had on white tops there. They are a rock band, so this setting, a concert setting, is much easier for them than for people that are more used to performing in a studio or on a theater stage or something like that. And that really comes across. They know how to perform. It felt like a song at a rock concert. He sang it incredibly well. Very good vocals, and they just own the stage and they do their thing and they know exactly what they have to do. So well done for Katharsis. Then we have Miriam Shengeliev with Freedom. She sings this well. She had on a very classy dress. Nothing much to criticize, except that the song is a bit lacking something to really get into it, but she performed it well and looked quite classy on that stage. Then Albania with Germ. This just looks incredibly professional. She knows how to sell this. She knows how to perform this. I loved how the audience was clapping along, and that is something that makes this song special to me. The clapping, you can really engage with the audience, and it just stays in your ear. The structure and tact and the melody of the song are very special as well, and that really shines through. It also seemed like he was way more confident doing his part during the Eurovision concert performance. I prefer the outfit at the national final. I'm not sure about the orange that she had on, but I'm sure that's not the final Eurovision outfit anyway. So well done to them as well. This was a big disappointment because I thought we might hear the live vocals for the first time since the national final, really. However, it was completely playback, which I would criticize a lot if I didn't know that she was sick. You might say, oh, she's sick again, how convenient. But I've seen some interviews and she really does sound sick. The problem is that she doesn't have time to practice and to maybe take singing lessons or something like that, because she seems to be sick quite a lot. So I hope that the vocals will improve. The performance was basically the same as in the national final. No cello was heard in this performance, thankfully, but I'm less and less confident about this. Maybe in one of the other pre-parties we can actually hear the live vocals then. San Marino. I love this song so much, and I hate the staging with a passion, but they did it again. They had the two singers with masks on statically next to him, and him at a DJ desk, how do you call that? A disc jockey desk, whatever, singing along and stuff like that. It's a great, great song. It deserves such a much better staging with Italian grammars or whatever, something. Anything almost is better than what the staging looks like at the moment. The vocals were good. I mean, they're static and they can't see anything, I'm guessing. So they have a lot of possibilities to focus on their vocals. Yeah, I think this will be the staging and I'm very unhappy about that. Sorry, San Marino. Kyle Alessandro and Lider. You have to remember that he's only, I think, 19 years old. He is a born performer. He owns that stage. He has a lot of stage presence. He sang this almost perfectly. Lots of charisma as well. I, again, would hope that he would have a better song. I think he might be one that returns in 5 or 6 years and actually wins Eurovision with a great song, because he has everything that you need to win Eurovision, all the charisma, all the stage presence, the great vocals. So well done. And I think it's better if he doesn't wear an armor or anything and feels freer to move around. That felt more natural as well last night. Then we have Emma with Like a Party. This felt much more confident than during the national final. A lot of time has passed, so she probably had a lot of time to rehearse and was probably less nervous performing for a crowd of people than when it was actually the national final. Vocally, this was quite good. The graphics with the dog and the dog-related items flying through space is a big no for me. It just feels cringe when you think about what the lyrics are about. To see this dog floating through space, it's just not working for me. I hope that's not the Eurovision staging, though I think it might be. And I have to say that the outfit she wore last night, this dress, I don't know how to describe it, like a pailletten dress, we would call it in German, is so much better than what she wore in the national final, because it moves with her and it just has a bit more dynamicism to it, I think. Lots of words I think I use that do not exist in English. Sorry about that. But yeah, pretty good performance. Well done, Emmy. And change the outfit, change the graphics. Then Laura Thorne, another one. I think maybe this is just my personal preference, but the fact that she had her hair naturally, that she wore an outfit that was less pink and less like a doll, and she didn't move like a doll, made this feel way more natural, much better than in the national final. I think what they should do is have her act like a doll for the first like 20 seconds, and then she liberates herself and becomes Laura and just performs the song. Lots of attitude, which I like. The vocals were good as well. And yeah, it just feels way more natural and authentic when she doesn't do the doll movements throughout the song. So this is a potential grower as well. And I think this might actually qualify. Then we have Australia. The vocals for this were quite off in quite a lot of places, I think. He is very charismatic, obviously. He gave it his all and lots of weird movements, but that adds to the charm of the performance in a way. I think he did his best and he kind of wore the outfit like in the music video, not this one, but the stripes, which is fun and just, yeah, adds to the fun of the performance, but the vocals were not great. And I also have to say, I'm not a big fan of the song, so that might be the reason, but I got a bit bored in the last minute of the song because it does keep repeating quite a bit and becomes a bit repetitive, is what I'm trying to say. Then let me change my notes. We have Ukraine. The outfit she wore was a bit I don't really understand why. The vocals were good. The high notes that the female backing singer sang during the national final performance, I think were sung by the bassist, and they seemed a bit off, but that might just be because the female backing singer didn't have time to come to Amsterdam or something like that. Overall, they are also a band. This is also a setting that suits them, and they did pretty well, I think. Then we have Belgium, Red Sebastian, strobe lights. He wore this red leather, or not leather, latex suit. So he obviously loves the color red, which might help some televoters remember who he is. Red Sebastian, the guy who wore red, maybe. So good for him for sticking with his favorite color, I guess. Vocally, this was very, very strong, both in the lower registers and in the very high register. He has great vocal control. It sounded better than in the national final performance as well. So well done for that. And it made me kind of think, this song is very much in its lane. It's a trance song, an electronic song with very good vocals. And it could take a few votes away from Austria, which has this last part that is also turning electronic. And people who love this kind of music might not love the operatic beginning in the Austrian song. And so might go for a more clear trance song, which is Belgium. That's a thought I had when seeing that performance and also seeing JJ performing live for the first time. Then we have Malta. She had this kind of reveal, a cardboard box cutout circle that she had on. It looked like she did it the day before. Fine, at least she had a reveal. Felt a bit like a high school production, but still, obviously the crowd chanted the word that she cannot use during the chorus. That will probably happen during Eurovision as well, kind of trying to subvert the EBU's censorship of the word. She does have the attitude to sell this 100%. She knows how to sell this to the audience, and she really believes in the song, I think, as well. You kind of noticed that. There was a bit of an aerobics lesson at the end with the ball again. Don't understand what that has to do with the message of the song, but still pretty fun to watch. And she has a great voice as well. Clayman, how much time do we have left? Good performance, pretty good vocals, but pretty uneventful. I hate though that a lot of people were talking during the performance. This song means so much to him. And this talking during performances happened a lot again this year, especially during the ballads. Yeah, people have no respect. If you want to talk, just go outside or something, if that's possible. Then Justina and Gaia. I mean, this was basically the national final performance, vocally perfect. She's a great singer. The choreography, as I said, kind of stayed the same. The outfit for her was a bit different. I think the outfits for the backing dancers were almost the same, but kudos for her for bringing the backings for this. Lots of aerobics again, right after Malta. And she is just a diva, and she emits this diva-esque thing that she does on the stage, the attitude she has. So she performed this really well. I'm personally still not a great fan of the song, but great vocals and great stage presence by Justina. Then Mama Gama, Run With You for Azerbaijan. I think the outfits here don't work at all. I don't think this is the kind of song you wear a suit for. I think the leather jacket, for example, from the music video or also from this cover version that they did works a lot better and makes the seem way more modern. Good vocals, very unique voice as well. But I think that this needs a bit of a more interesting staging than just having the band perform the song. I'm sure for Eurovision they have something else in mind. But overall, a pretty good performance last night. Then we have Claude. Great, great vocals, this softness in his voice, this emotive way of singing, which I just fell in love with from the second I heard the song. And he does it live as well as he does in the studio version. And in the live version, he even adds some vocal colors that weren't there in the studio version. And that just shows you how good of a performer he is. I have to say, it was a bit static and a bit boring in some parts. I expected a bit more of the choreography from the music video. I'm sure at Eurovision we will see that. And you can see that he was enjoying himself. This was his home crowd in a way. And I'm very happy for him. And I do like the song a lot. Well done, Claude. This one is one of the most surprising performances, really, or that I was positively surprised by. She did have a dress reveal, obviously a lot more professional than the Maltese one. She really loves these, over the top things. But because you didn't have this crazy staging with 100 things happening, her lying on the floor, her going downstairs, and blah, 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 this seemed a lot more natural. And I just liked this a lot more because it focuses way more on her ability to sell this song, which she has 100%. And she also sings incredibly well. The very low register, she just knows how to do it. And she also, all the other registers, she's a very good vocalist. So simplify the staging, and this might do a lot better than I predicted. I predicted this bottom 6 in my grand final prediction video. Having seen this performance, I think it could do better. I do love the silver outfit she had on as well, much better than the outfits in the national final. So this has a lot of potential and might do better than I predicted. Then Nina Žižić with Dobrodošli. I'm kind of repeating myself, but again, great vocals, great dramatic performance, cool and classy outfit as well. And I love the graphics for this one with the people in the background, kind of silhouettes of people watching her, because that really works with the lyrics of the song. So just a very classy performance, and I will do my best to help this qualify in May, because we have to have a song like this in the final, I feel like, and she deserves to be in the final. Then lots of expectations for this one. One of the big favorites to win, JJ and Wasted Love for Austria. Lots of people speculated, can he actually sing this live? Is he as good a vocal performer? I never had a lot of doubt, because if you perform at the Vienna State Opera, I believe he does, if you make it there, you have to be an amazing vocal performer that can bring it every single time. And for the operatic vocals, he was flawless. It was really impressive what he can do with his voice, obviously. However, in the lower register, which most of the song is not in a lower register, but in that part, it felt a bit off. And you saw him take out the in-ear, put it back in during the lower register part, I think. So there must have been some audio problem, and that might be the reason for the off-key aspects in the lower register. During Eurovision, at Eurovision, he will obviously have a better audio situation, and that might help him. But the operatic vocals, incredibly impressive, obviously, even though I'm not personally a great fan of these kinds of vocals. He performs it well as well. The movements he does feel very dramatic and fit the song 100%. However, I noticed that during the electronic part, where you have this the voice very high, which during the studio version feels like it is his voice, he didn't do it live, so I'm not sure how they will reproduce that on the Eurovision stage. Maybe it is an instrument that just sounds like his voice quite a lot. But overall, this was very impressive. I think this will get as people expect, lots of jury votes. Not sure how the audience will react to this, because as I said, people that love the operatic part might not love the electronic part of the song, and people that love electronic music and stuff like that might go for Belgium or Cyprus. And so maybe it's just a bit too much of a mix of different genres. But I think we can expect a very dramatic performance, because when you're so comfortable with your vocal performance, you can do lots of other things on the stage and don't have to concentrate on the vocals being very static. So that will help this be very epic, I think, on the Eurovision stage. So well done, Austria. I don't think the odds have changed all that much, because it was as good as expected in a way. Then we have Adonis with Kiss Kiss Goodbye for Czechia. His dress sense is not really aligned with mine, and his fashion sense. The outfit last night I didn't like at all. But, you know, at least the color scheme was kind of the same with the backing dancers. That was a cool thing that they did. I love his expressive movements during the performance as well. During the first part of the performance, I saw a lot of comments that he was vocally completely off, that he didn't hit one single note. I don't know whether it's the quality of the video I saw, but I didn't notice that at all. It sounded fine to me. A few shaky moments, but nothing major. And I mean, we saw in Malta that he knows how to sing this, and he has a great voice and great vocal control. So even if he was off last night, I'm not worried for Eurovision. And then for the dance break, which I was very critical about, the way it is staged and the way the choreography is done actually works, because the backing dancers come in very rapidly, and then you do the dance break, and then the backing dancers stay for the last part of the song and add a lot of dynamicism to the performance as well. So the way they did this is very good. I don't have a problem with the dance break anymore, so that's a big plus. And then at the end, he also has these very high notes that might take votes away from Austria. So quite interesting. But for me, a good performance. The choreography sold this to me even more than I liked it before, but now I like it even more. Then we have Portugal, Napa with Deslocado. Good performance. They are a band too, so they are probably used to this kind of setting as well, and it helps them perform the song well, and they did. I really have no criticism at all. The vocals seemed very fine to me as well. I do prefer the denim outfit that they had to the outfit they wore at the national final, but otherwise, nothing to criticize here. Good performance. Then we have Marko Božňák, Poison Cake for Croatia. Here again, I prefer the performance at Eurovision in concert to the national final performance. Even though he's alone on stage, he has this very dark outfit, dark hair, and it seems like very simplistic compared to the national final, but I actually prefer this. I think because this dark look and dark feel to the whole staging makes these very sweet and child rhyme-like parts of the song more bearable to me, because that's the part of the song I like the least. But at least if it's performed by someone in a very dark outfit and with the dark staging, it makes it more bearable. The vocals seemed fine. And I mean, the national final seemed a bit too chaotic, maybe too many changes. The song is already quite disjointed, and if you have a very staging where lots of things are happening, that might accentuate that more than if you have one single staging, one single outfit. So maybe they can think about that as well. Then we have Erika Wickman for Finland, Ich komme. I love how the audience sang along Ich komme with her accent. That's quite funny to me, because I'm German, obviously. I think the outfit was better than during the national final. Don't really know why, but I think without the boots, it just looks a bit more classy than it did during the national final, to put it diplomatically. I think the singing was fine. She does know how to sing this, but there were a few off moments, especially in the longer sustained notes. I noticed that, but nothing major. And the main part is she was alone on that stage, and she fills that stage 100%. I love her attitude. She has exactly the right attitude for this kind of song. So well done for singing this kind of song. And this will be loved by the televoters, I'm sure, in May, because she just, yeah, knows how to sell this, knows how to connect with the audience. So well done, Finland and Erika. Then we have Park and Survivor for Armenia. Not that much to say here. I think the vocals were a bit better than during the national final, which wasn't that hard, to be honest. I was struck again by the fact that he doesn't sing any of the chorus, really. And you really notice that during the Eurovision and concert performance even more. So there's I'm a Survivor. He doesn't sing a note of that. It's all pre-recorded, I'm guessing, or at Eurovision it will be backing singers, and that's just a bit weird to me. I think the juries will notice that as well. And then when he sings, it's not always on point, unfortunately. And this whole thing that he doesn't sing during the chorus also accentuates what the song is lacking, like a real melody or something like that. But I do prefer him without the armor as well. He feels a bit more natural. Then another one of the big favorites, Luan and Maman. I think the outfit was much better than during the reveal. She had on this dark combo with a gold belt. It looked very, very classy. There was also a wind machine blowing her hair a bit during the performance, which added a bit of drama to the whole thing. It's just pure class, I think. And this is one of the best songs, one of the best vocal performances as well. She sang this very well, but during the chorus, this mama, you really have to hit every single note, and she didn't hit every single note, she hit most of them. So she has to work on that because it has to be perfect. Otherwise, it can feel a bit jarring. The lyrics in the background in English, that was a good choice, I think, because I think a few fans probably don't know what the song is about yet, and that's the main thing that makes this so emotional to me listening to the song, are the lyrics and the story behind it. I think in the performances we have seen until now, there is a lot of emotion, but it's not as emotional as I would expect it to be. She's singing to her mom about her daughter, about the love that she has found. I think that she's saving that for the Eurovision stage, and then we will have the best performance at Eurovision. Sliman last year did a lot of great performances, and then the night of the jury show, his voice failed, and maybe just subduing it a little more during these pre-parties and other live performances that aren't as important is a good idea, and then bringing the emotion 100% on the Eurovision stage. She's an actress, she won a César, so I'm sure she knows how to do that. So well done, Luan, and well done, France. Prince and Mila is another one. Amazing, amazing vocal performance, and he does bring the emotion every single time. So just a great performance. He seems to love extravagant fashion, which I'm not a big fan of. You might have heard when I talked about the Czech entry, but I love the song. I love his way of singing it. He's a great vocalist. Well done, Prince and Serbia. And I still think that this will do better than people think. And last but not least, my big, big favorite from last night, Remember Monday, What the Hell Just Happened for the UK. I just love them. They are so fun to watch, the three of them together. You really notice that they are friends, that they love doing this, that they know how to do it as well. And the vocals were just incredible. They were almost better in the live version compared to the studio version. The harmonies they create, that's not an easy thing to do, especially with a kind of experimental song like this, but they did hit every single note. They were amazing. There's so much fun and energy coming from them. This very specific, I don't know, women being together, having fun together, amazing. I love it. And the fact that they know how to sing this, that they have all of this vocal control, opens up so many possibilities for them for the staging at Eurovision to bring the attitude, to have a crazy, over-the-top musical theater performance that will convince the televoters, because I'm quite sure that the juries will love these vocals and that the UK will be top 10 with the juries in the end. So yeah, this song has grown on me even more after seeing that performance, them strutting around, the three of them on that stage, just having fun. Amazing. Thank you, UK, for this entry. This is my favorite British entry in a very long time. So that's all of them. All 30 of them. Do let me know in the comments if you completely disagree with one of my opinions. Remember to vote for Eurovision Knockout as well. The heats are going on at the moment and the voting is still open. And then subscribe to my channel if you want reviews like this for the other pre-parties, lots of other fun videos coming out. And if you don't want to miss that, you gotta subscribe. And if you do, I might see you in my next video. See you then, and bye-bye.